Okay, so if you're new to the industry and you're just setting up a business, I would 100% check with Companies House before you choose your business name, and just make sure that no one in the area is traded under the same name. And I would also advise to, once you've got your name, is to get it trademarked and get your business protected. Because unfortunately, after 4 years of going, I had a girl in my area, literally 15 minutes up the road, decide that she was now called Essex Dolls and offering the same treatments. And I messaged her on Facebook and said, like, you know, I've been going 4 years, I've trademarked my business, like, would you mind calling yours something else? And she was fantastic about it and said, yeah, absolutely, changed it there and then. I wished her well in her business.
Hi guys, it's Holly here at Faces. Welcome back to the Face It podcast. Today I'm joined by the lovely Lisa from Dolls Aesthetics Academy, formerly known as Essex Dolls. Lisa, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today.
Hi Holly, you're very welcome.
I love your background, love the pink, very brand orientated, so nice. Puts me to shame with my nothing background. So obviously, you've been in the industry for quite some time now. So do you want to just give us some background into how you got into the aesthetic side of things and how you've built your business to where it is today?
Okay, so we're going back about 4.5 to 5 years ago. I think it's about 2019 I started. I found myself, I was in a job with payroll and accounts, and I absolutely hated it. And after 6 years of being there, I was just decided that, you know, I need to start thinking about doing something that I'm going to enjoy every day. And the lady who actually used to do my lip filler had an academy. So I decided to bite the bullet, got a credit card and a loan out and done my foundation training. And I've never looked back since. It's the best decision I've ever made. I literally run my business around my life. I work completely for myself. And from there, I've carried on training and training. I've spent fortunes on training because I think my foundation training wasn't very good. Yeah. I chose a trainer what was probably more money orientated, so there was too many girls in the class. You didn't feel comfortable asking questions. I think when it comes to like lip fillers, we done like half a lip each. So from that training, I basically went on and retrained and then carried on training. I've got a little bit addicted to training, let's say.
Yeah.
And kept going and going and going. So you name it, everything I've trained in aesthetics to an advanced level. And then from there, I decided to train myself. But obviously with the training I'd had in the beginning was so poor, I promised myself that when I become an academy, I would train on a one-to-one basis and maximum probably 3 students per class. Yeah. That way, so everyone gets enough models. If you've got a shy student, they're not too embarrassed to ask you questions. And yeah, so I literally pride myself on one-to-one and small classes now.
Amazing. Do you know what? There's so many practitioners that I've spoken to who have like basically said the same thing. You know, their initial training wasn't great. There were too many people on the classes, barely did any practical. And when they've then decided to take the leap into becoming an academy themselves, they've literally taken all that experience, good and bad, from previous trainings they've had and just really made their academy better. So it's kind of bittersweet in a way. It's like you've experienced the bad training, but it's meant that you know what works.
It is, and I think once you know what bad training is, you can then say, well, that's something I'm never going to deliver that way. So you can learn from it. And being a student yourself, because obviously I've retrained and carried on in my advance on everything. Luckily, the trainers that I chose after that experience were absolutely amazing. So again, it gives you an insight of what a good trainer is and what your student can expect from you. But also I find with my students, I think like 9 times out of 10 they'll come back from their foundation training and then go on to their advanced with me as well. So I've always got the same sort of faces back. So
Yeah,
it's really nice.
That just speaks for itself as well. You know, no one's going to go back to an academy if they didn't find the academy helpful or supportive or enjoy the training. What would you say, there's so many academies out there now, what would you say, other than obviously the small classes, are sort of staple things that you implement into your training academy to ensure that your students have the best experience?
I give them 100% all I've got. So basically, I like to give them as much knowledge as possible. So that I know that every single student that I've trained has had 100% from me. And I know that they're going out there, they're going to be confident, they've had enough models, they've got enough information. But I also offer ongoing support as well. So any of them can text me at any time if they've got a problem or they've forgotten something or they need answers to something. They all still contact me today, which is, I think, really nice, because also when I've done my first lot of training, the last thing I wanted to do was contact the trainer again. So yeah, I think it's nice to offer ongoing support for a lifetime. Basically, I don't say it's up to 6 months and don't contact us again. It's literally ongoing. I think
that's another thing which has really discouraged a lot of practitioners when they've done their initial training, is they're promised all this support from their trainer. They're then sort of, they get the certificate and then it's like they didn't exist. You know, I've spoken to so many practitioners who are like, I've called my academy like 20 times, they're just ignoring me. Like, of course, like the thing is, if you're doing a week's course or whatever it might be, of course you're going to have questions afterwards.
100%, especially in this industry, you know, if you've had 100% amazing, excellent training, you will still have questions after.
And it'd be concerning if you don't have questions, to be honest, because there's no way you're going to know everything.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that is very important. It's the same with even when we do treatments. You know, I'm always on the end of the phone, and I do like to teach my students that once you do start doing the injectables, if you've got a client that's got a concern, always answer them. It's really not good aftercare to ignore them. So we take it obviously with our clients and our students. We try and drum that into them. You know, that aftercare is really important going forward. So keep that contact.
Sorry, go on, lovely.
So, I was just going to say, I've been really lucky. I've had amazing students. I've got amazing clients, and I absolutely love the industry.
I can definitely tell like that you're very passionate, and it's always the passionate practitioners who do well in this industry, like 100%, because it's going to the support aspect as well. Something that I really don't understand from academies is, first of all, you should absolutely support your students following their training forever. Of course, they're going to have questions. But secondly, from a business point of view, your students aren't going to come back to you, and you're not going to be able to get them in for more training if you don't support them. So you're then missing out on future business as well. So I don't get it. I really don't understand why people do that.
I mean, putting it on that perspective, it's absolutely crazy. But not only that, we've got students out there that don't know what they're doing. It's quite dangerous. I like to know that my students are confident, and if they're still struggling, they can come in and also shadow as well. If there's something that they're still not got enough confidence with, they can come back free of charge and shadow. Most of them are absolutely fine though. I make sure they've all got enough models, so they've all had a good amount of practice before they're even qualified. But I think that's just me. I'm the sort of person that if I produced shoddy training, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I like to know that I give my 100% all. So
that is what makes you a good practitioner and a good tutor as well. So it's so important. And I think, you know, like I said before, your students kind of speak for themselves in terms of the fact that you are a great academy to go to.
Yeah.
With regards to the treatment side of things then, what treatments
Yeah.
would you say are really popular with your clients at the moment? Because obviously it's such an ever evolving industry with lots of different trends all the time. So
I know.
what are you finding everyone's after at the moment?
I think the Russian lip has never really died down, so that's still very popular. Um, Also the skin boosters, so the Profilo and the 70IL is very popular. But I'm also finding, because I am an academy for Lemon Bottle,
Yeah.
I'm an official academy for those. So it's just been accredited as we speak. But Lemon Bottle, treatment wise, people are just going absolutely crazy for it. So I'm finding that a very popular treatment at the moment, and
Yeah.
it brings amazing results.
Yeah, I can guarantee
Yeah.
if I opened Instagram now, I would see a lemon bottle post. It's just
Oh,
mental. Like
100%.
I think it's because obviously it's been around for a while now, but
It has.
it's the last like
And
4 weeks where it's been crazy.
you know what I think's happened though, because Sid, the owner of Lemon Bottle, he approached me about a year and a half ago. And he's like, I will send you it all, like you're a really good academy, like please just, so he sent me everything over for free, and I just thought it was just another gimmick. And then it come about, look, we couldn't actually get it insured over here, so I sort of stopped trying to push Lemon Bottle, and all of a sudden I think, where is send it out to all different selected academies around the world, all of a sudden it's just gone boom.
Yeah.
And I've approached him again, and I was like, yeah, I'm still interested in doing it. The only problem I had, the insurance that I was using at the time wouldn't cover it. But now I've managed to get it insured. So we're going full ahead with the Lemon Bottle training now under the academy, which is great. But yeah, it's an amazing treatment, really, really good.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be like a bit of a trend though? Because what I found is like, for example, a couple years ago, everyone wanted Fox Eye. That was like a really
Yeah.
popular treatment. Then that's kind of died down now. Then everyone was crazy about Ozempic. I know obviously that is a completely different thing because it's a prescription. But then
Yeah.
no one's talking about Ozempic anymore. I know because there's a shortage, but it's almost like Lemon Bottle's now taken the stand.
I think it's taken the industry by storm because it's quite a natural product. It's not a painful product like Aqualex fat dissolving. And I don't think it'll just be a trend that's going to come and go. I think it's going to be here to stay, because the fat dissolving itself has been something that I've always offered, and it's always been popular.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be here to stay. I don't think it'll just be a phase.
Yeah.
Because it does give amazing results, and if it's a lot less painful and a more natural, you'll find that most academies and most practitioners are going to pick the Lemon Bottle over something that's really painful like Aqualex. So I think that'll be a good day.
I think what's helped as well with getting it out there is the amount of kind of reels, TikTok stories that practitioners are doing about it. Because it is quite clear that practitioners like yourself are just loving it. You know, you're seeing better results, you're seeing quicker results, less painful results. And I think when clients can see that you're genuinely excited about something, it does kind of show, doesn't it? Because you've got a comparison as well from products that you've previously used.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, all the fat dissolving, like the Lipo Lab and the Aqualex, they're all fantastic. But the Aqualex, even mixing it with lidocaine, is still very, very painful. But with the Lemon Bottle, it's just the needle pain. Really, it's not really the solution inside. It's Aqualex. It really does swell and sting.
Yeah.
Whereas, the Lemon Bottle, 100%. Amazing product.
Amazing. So obviously you're a bit of a training addict, you know, you love to keep learning and educating yourself. What are the treatments are you sort of looking at the moment to
what's that okay?
What other treatments are you looking at doing some training in sometime soon?
I literally trained in everything. So I've done the laser, I've done tattoo removal, I've done all the injectables. I've done IV drips. I literally, there's nothing more for me to really train in now. But saying that, I've just started my nursing degree, so I'm running the business and also at uni 3 days a week.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
my goodness, I bet that's
I
hectic.
know. The reason I'm doing it is not because of the new regulations. Everyone keeps saying is it because it's going to change to medics. The reason I'm actually doing it is because one, I've always had an interest in it. I used to be a carer many years back. Two, it would go nicely alongside my business to be a qualified nurse.
Yeah.
But my main goal is I would like to open a clinic in Dubai, and for that I do have to be a medic. So yeah, I'm now doing a nursing degree.
Oh
So
my
I'm
gosh.
training.
Well, huge congratulations on making that decision, because, you know, running a business like you say, like you do, and then
Yeah,
doing that is a lot of work. However, you've clearly
yeah,
got that goal in mind, and, you know, like you say, you've got to be a medic to do it in Dubai, and if that's where you want your business to go, as
yeah.
well as having the interest in healthcare as well, it will
Yeah,
just work really well. That's fantastic.
yeah, yeah.
And then do you think further from there you'll do your nurse prescribing? Do you think? Is that something that you've thought about?
Possibly, yes. We'll see. Um, I'll keep saying I'm not going to do any more training and then off I go again. But yeah, we'll see. Let me get to the end of my 3 years, get my degree first, and see
Yeah,
where we are. But yeah,
amazing.
I think in the industry, it's a constant learning process. You can just keep going with your training, and just yeah, there's no end to it. There's so much you can learn and keep training, which is amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
Something that I've been speaking about a bit on my stories, and I've been having conversations with different practitioners about, is not only learning treatments, but actually learning about things like the menopause and domestic violence and other like issues that a practitioner will face when it comes to their clients. Um,
Yeah.
do you just out of interest, do you think there should be more training available to practitioners around that kind of thing, around supporting clients?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it wouldn't be a good idea. Of course it would be, because sometimes you can become not a counsellor as such, but you'll find that you'll get very loyal clients and they'll tell you very secret stuff and things that are going on in their life. And that could be anything from their drinking to domestic violence. So yeah, I mean, it would be an absolutely amazing idea to get more training on how to deal with that. I find I deal with that quite well anyway. I just seem the sort of person that if someone comes in, they'll feel like they can tell me their life story for some
Yeah,
reason. So
yeah,
I feel quite comfortable telling me things, I feel like. So I cope with that quite well. And when it comes to like the hormones and the menopause, I know that there is quite a few academies that are doing that sort of training at the moment, which I think is a fantastic idea.
yeah.
And I was considering doing the menopause training myself because I'm quite interested in it. But obviously, at the moment, I've got enough going on.
Yeah, don't do any
That,
more training for now. Hold that for when
yeah,
you're
I think
in
that's enough.
university.
I think it's definitely a good idea for other practitioners to, do all the different the menopause ones and be able to offer more treatments on that sort of side of things as well. That would be, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it can only benefit people.
yeah, exactly. And I think it just you know, there's so much more practitioners can learn other than just treatments. It's like
Yeah,
things like that which are really going to help support your clients and benefit your clients and just make you feel more kind of comfortable if those things do arise. Because I know a lot of practitioners, particularly males, they might not know how to sort of approach that kind of topic if it does come
yeah,
up. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, no, that's helpful to know, because I'm just trying to like push for these things within the industry where I can, because I think they're just such important topics.
Oh,
Um,
100%, especially when it comes to the menopause and things, because there's not a lot of support here in the UK.
so
So many women suffering. And I think if we can do the training where we can take the tests, the necessary tests, and give them a rundown of what symptoms they've got and what we can do to benefit them, I think it's an amazing course to be taking. So that, yeah, I mean, it's something that I would definitely look at
yeah,
taking in future.
yeah.
I know
Fantastic.
there is a few in the industry what are offering the training for the menopause and, you know, to be able to help people in that way as well.
Yeah, I think it's something which a lot more people are talking about, which is a positive thing.
Yeah.
Going back to the academy side of things then, what are you finding your students are kind of concerned about at the moment? Because I can imagine there's a lot of people new in the industry or coming into the industry who are like,
So, yeah, I think at
yeah,
the moment a lot of my students are concerned about the new regulations. Also, before people are training, I've noticed for the last probably 6 months, people are saying like, is it worth me training if the regulations are going to change? Will I be able to still work once the regulations change? So my answer to that is no one knows what the regulations are actually going to change to as of yet. It's still in the process of changing. I think we do need to be regulated, not because I'm doing a nursing course, because I've been on two sides of the coins with this. I've trained medics, and I've also had treatments with medics. And I can honestly say some of not great treatments. You know, I find it's sorry, I'm just going to end this. Does need regulating. Not because I'm coming a nurse, but I think it's important that everyone has adequate training and everyone has a license in place. But I don't agree with it becoming a medic or non-medic, because like I say, I've trained medics, I've had treatments with medics, and I wouldn't say that, I would say that anyone that's a non-medic, who's had amazing training will be an excellent practitioner. It doesn't make you a better practitioner because you have a medic background.
yeah,
I find that a lot of the medics can be not really aesthetically trained, so they're medically trained, but they haven't got the artistry what goes with it.
yeah,
So I don't think that the regulations should come in to make it that we're all registered as medics or we all have to do nursing. I don't agree with that at all. I think there's amazing training out there for non-medics. I offer it myself to both medics and non-medics. But I do agree that there should be regulations in place, so that everyone is at the same level of training.
yeah,
And that's to keep everybody and the public safe. So yeah, let's yeah, I think it's a great idea. Definitely needs doing. I think we're the only country where we're not regulated, and everywhere else outside of the UK is regulated.
yeah,
But I still think, you know, there's a lot of really great academies and practitioners out there that are not medically trained but are still offering, you know, really safe, good service and producing amazing results. Because yeah, there is a big divide in the industry with medics and non-medics. I mean, I've had lip filler done with a dentist and I couldn't go out for 2 weeks, where it was literally horrendous.
really,
My top lip was touching my nose. I was black with bruises from my nose down to the bottom of my chin. And then obviously I've had lip filler with a non-medic practitioner and come out absolutely fine. So I think, you know, it depends on the individual. I don't think it's down to whether they're a medic or non-medic. It's whether they've had adequate training. And with aesthetics, I think you do have to have an artistic eye as well, especially when you're doing facial contouring and that. And I think sometimes with a medic, they're not looking at that. They're just looking at delivering the injection in a medical way rather than in an aesthetic, artistic way.
yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. And it's sort of, you know, one of them, because when you qualify as a nurse, it's like, oh, one day you're not going to be able to potentially do some treatments, then I now can, you know, and you're still going to be performing treatments in the same way, you know, when you get your medical degree.
100%. I mean, like I say, I'm not doing it because of the regulations in the industry are changing. I'm doing it 100% because later on I want my academy to go So I've got an academy clinic in Dubai and one in California. This is big goals in the future.
Yeah.
So that I'm able to fly out there and train. But obviously for me to do that, I do unfortunately have to be a medically trained as well. So I will have the artistic background and also the medical training side of it to keep myself covered. I think you do, to be good in this industry, you do have to have an artistic eye to produce some really amazing results.
100%, I agree with that, definitely. So just moving on to the Faces app then. So obviously you've used Faces for quite some time, so thank you.
I've actually, in my foundation training, the one good thing that did come out of it that day was she advised us to download the Faces app. So I have been using the Faces app since I've been going, so over for nearly 5 years now. I wouldn't use anything else. I've had hardly any problems with it at all. It's amazing. Also, I know that there's every consent form on that app for my clients that I need to send out, and they're all legally everything I need to have asked the client is in that consent form, and plus the aftercare. It's just an amazing tool to have. And everybody I train, everyone downloads the Faces app so that I know that they're sending out the correct forms for their new clients. I mean, I highly recommend it, and everyone I've trained has downloaded the Faces app.
I hope you're using your affiliate link. Do you know about that?
Yes. Do you know what? I need to get into the habit of doing it. I recommend it all the time. It's always being downloaded, and I'm probably not. I'm probably not putting the link. So yeah, I need to look into that.
Definitely use your link, because everything your students or anyone who you recommend Faces to, when they purchase, you'll get 1% back. So definitely start using that. And just on another note, if you ever want me to do like a Faces like webinar or Zoom with your students, like on an evening or something, if you've got like a student group, I'm absolutely happy to do that. If they need any help like setting up or just learning about the features, I can do that for them. So and that's any other academies watching, if you want me to do that, I'm more than happy to as well. But I'm so like,
it's a lot for them to take in, because obviously we've just delivered them a lot of training in the last week, and then it's like, well, I'm like, download the Faces app, but then you have to make an account and just follow through the instructions, and then I'll show them mine. So that would be quite good. So even if you could make a video of you just going through the steps, so that the trainees can literally go on to Faces and watch the video in their own time, maybe.
Not a problem. I will get that done. Absolutely. We do have some like tutorials on YouTube and stuff, but I do want to do like a talking video about it and showing my screen and stuff. So I'll 100% get that done. But thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Lisa. I've honestly loved speaking with you.
Welcome.
Just to finish off, actually, because we've got 3 minutes left, what advice would you give to anyone who is new to the industry, just in general? Because we talked about something earlier which I think is really important to mention.
Okay, so if you're new to the industry and you're just setting up a business, I would 100% check with Companies House before you choose your business name, and just make sure that no one in the area is traded under the same name. And I would also advise to, once you've got your name, is to get it trademarked and get your business protected. Because unfortunately, after 4 years of going, I had a girl in my area, literally 15 minutes up the road, decide that she was now called Essex Dolls and offering the same treatments. And I messaged her on Facebook and said, like, you know, I've been going 4 years, I've trademarked my business, like, would you mind calling yours something else? And she was fantastic about it and said, yeah, absolutely, changed it there and then. I wished her well in her business. And then what I didn't realise, she then blocked me from all social media and then just went crazy on the business name. So she literally opened Instagram accounts, more Facebook accounts. She then trademarked the same name. It cost me quite a few £1,000s to get a trademark infringement lawyer involved. She's then ignored the letters. and said to just take her to court, which could cost me up to £25,000. But she also reported my pages on Facebook and Instagram, which unfortunately, because she said I'm trademark infringing her business, they disabled both my social media platforms, because obviously they don't want to get into war about it. So I can't give them proof until it's all gone to court. So I've now had to rebrand my business just so that I have got a Facebook platform and Instagram platform. So this is what I'm saying. Even though I am trademarked, it can still happen. But if you are trademarked, at the end of the day, you will win. So although it's cost me a lot of inconvenience at the moment, at the end of the day, I was trademarked before her, and she will have to stop using the name. But in the meantime, I've had to literally rebrand everything.
So just guys, bear that in mind when you're setting a business up. Something that I think a lot of people don't really consider. Like
100%. I mean, you know, if someone you know, Emma down the road is using the same name, it's worth just doing something slightly different so you're unique. Then hopefully, guys, you won't get someone that's, you know, going to come and steal the business name. But definitely 100% bear that in mind.
100%. Lisa, thank you so much for coming on. I cannot wait to catch up with you in a few years' time when you've got your Dubai clinic, California clinic, and your nursing degree. So exciting. If anyone's looking for further training, I will put all of Lisa's links and academy information below as well. And thank you so much for coming